The hammer of justice fell hard. Donald Trump, twice impeached, now stands a convicted criminal. A New York jury delivered a verdict that reverberated through the halls of American history, leaving an indelible mark on his legacy. Never before has a former president faced such legal peril, let alone a conviction that could potentially derail his political ambitions. Trump immediately denounced the verdict as a politically motivated witch hunt, a familiar refrain from a man accustomed to deflecting blame. His loyal base, energized by his fiery rhetoric, echoed his sentiments, their anger and frustration palpable. The nation, already deeply polarized, found itself further divided, the chasm between Trump's supporters and detractors widening. The legal battle, far from over, is likely to drag on for months, if not years, with appeals and counter-appeals adding to the complexity of the case. Trump's legal woes extend far beyond this single conviction. A tangled web of investigations, spanning from his business dealings to his efforts to overturn the 2020 election, continues to ensnare him. Special counsel Jack Smith's investigation into January 6th and the attempt to interfere with the peaceful transfer of power looms large. Each investigation carries the weight of potential indictments and further convictions, painting a bleak picture for Trump's legal team. The sheer volume of legal challenges, coupled with Trump's penchant for delaying tactics, could potentially push any trials beyond the 2024 election. Legal experts are divided on the strength of the evidence and the likelihood of further convictions. Some argue that the sheer weight of the allegations makes further convictions inevitable. The nation, already deeply polarized along political lines, grapples with the implications of the verdict. Trump's core supporters view the conviction as a politically motivated attack, a deep state conspiracy designed to silence their champion. They rally around their embattled leader, their faith in his innocence unshaken by the weight of evidence presented against him. This unwavering support forms the bedrock of Trump's political power, a force that cannot be ignored. On the other side, Trump's critics see it as a long overdue reckoning, a victory for the rule of law. They view the conviction as a necessary step towards holding Trump accountable for his actions. The verdict has deepened existing divisions within American society, exacerbating the sense of polarization and distrust. Public discourse risks descending further into a morass of anger and resentment, making it even more difficult to find common ground. The political landscape, already in a state of flux, has been irrevocably altered by Trump's conviction. The Republican Party, long beholden to Trump and his fervent base, now finds itself at a crossroads. The party's leadership is now forced to confront the reality of his legal woes and the potential damage he could inflict on their electoral prospects. The party faces a delicate balancing act, attempting to appease Trump's loyal base while also appealing to moderate voters. The Democratic Party, while cautiously optimistic about the potential impact of Trump's conviction on the 2024 election, is acutely aware of the risks of appearing too gleeful or vindictive. They understand that any attempt to exploit the situation for political gain could backfire. The conviction injects a level of volatility and uncertainty into the 2024 election that is unprecedented in modern American history. The Republican primary is now likely to be a more competitive affair, with potential challengers emboldened by his legal vulnerabilities. The GOP dilemma: loyalty tested. The Republican Party finds itself torn between its loyalty to Trump and the need to distance itself from his legal and ethical baggage. Some Republicans, particularly those with presidential aspirations, have begun to cautiously criticize Trump. They argue that clinging to Trump will only alienate moderate voters and make it more difficult for Republicans to win national elections. However, a significant portion of the Republican base remains fiercely loyal to Trump, viewing him as a victim of a political vendetta. These voters are a force to be reckoned with in Republican primaries. Any Republican candidate who openly criticizes Trump risks alienating this base and jeopardizing their chances of winning the party's nomination. This internal struggle within the Republican Party is likely to play out in the coming months. The Democrats' dilemma: capitalizing on chaos. While Democrats may be tempted to celebrate Trump's legal woes, they too face a delicate balancing act. They must capitalize on the opportunity to highlight the stark contrast between their party's commitment to the rule of law and Trump's alleged disregard for it. They will likely use the conviction as further evidence that Trump is unfit to hold office. On the other hand, Democrats must avoid appearing too gleeful or vindictive, as this could backfire. They must also be mindful of the fact that a significant portion of the electorate is weary of partisan bickering. Democrats would be wise to focus on presenting a positive vision for the future, one that addresses the concerns of all Americans. The 2024 election is still 2 years away, and a lot can happen between now and then. True to form, Trump is unlikely to go down without a fight. He has already signaled his intention to appeal the conviction, portraying himself as a victim of a politically motivated witch hunt. His legal team will undoubtedly employ every tactic at their disposal to delay and obstruct the judicial process. Beyond the courtroom, Trump is likely to continue to use his considerable platform to rail against what he perceives as a rigged system. He will likely paint himself as a martyr, a political prisoner persecuted for daring to challenge the status quo. This narrative will resonate with his base, who are already primed to believe that the system is rigged against them. Trump's defiance in the face of adversity is a double-edged sword. The 2024 presidential election is shaping up to be one of the most consequential in American history. The outcome will have profound implications for the future of American democracy, the rule of law, and the country's standing in the world. Trump's conviction adds a layer of complexity and uncertainty to an already volatile race. It remains to be seen whether the Republican Party will rally behind Trump once again, or choose to nominate a candidate less burdened by legal and ethical baggage. The 2024 election will be a referendum not only on the candidates themselves, but also on the state of American democracy. The United States finds itself at a crossroads, grappling with profound challenges to its democratic institutions and its very identity as a nation. The rise of political polarization, the spread of misinformation, and the erosion of trust in government have created a fertile ground for extremism and authoritarianism. Trump's presidency exposed the vulnerabilities of the American political system. His conviction, while a victory for the rule of law, does not erase the damage that has been done. The future of American democracy depends on the choices that Americans make in the coming years. It requires a commitment to truth, justice, and the common good. The conviction of Donald Trump marks a pivotal moment in American history. It is both a reckoning for a man who has long flouted norms and a choice for a nation grappling with its own demons. The verdict, while significant, does not provide easy answers or a guaranteed path forward. The coming years will test the resilience of American democracy, its ability to hold its leaders accountable, and its capacity for self-renewal. The choices made by the American people will determine the fate of the nation and its place in the world.